Hi, my name's Russ Evans, and in the distance there you can see the famous Reculver towers at Reculver, which overlook the North Sea. And today I'm fishing the Dykes that I used to do quite a lot as a young lad. We used to come here on our family summer holidays. I used to fish here with my dad so many times, and this really is a trip down memory lane because it's probably been sort of getting on for 40 years since I last fished these famous Dykes. And this is going to be the start of a 4-part series that I'm going to be doing for total course fishing, and part 1 is at Reculver, fishing the Dykes for the up and coming Boy to Man series. I hope you enjoy it. Well, being as I was going to fish Reculver like I used to as a boy, I thought I'd bring my selection of quill floats down with me, and some of them are actually still in their original packaging. But the float I'm using today is a float I've probably not used for 35 years, so it was one of my favourite floats. Used to catch me lots of fish, and I'm hoping it'll go under a few times today and bring back some happy memories. As I said earlier, I'm using a quill float, and I'm actually going to be attaching the quill float onto my line exactly how I used to do years ago. And I used to remember the old biro pens, pull that out and see the little bit that obviously where the ink is obviously where you've been using the pen and the ink sort of starts to sort of disappear. Used to cut the little plastic tubes out, just pop that behind me here, and then cut them down to the sizes that you wanted them, and then these would act as like a float sort of stopper, or a float holder actually, and that you put your line through there, slide it up your line, then get your quill float and then just push it in, and that'd hold the float in sort of like a waggler style, and then you used to be able to then can slide the quill float up and down how you want it sort of adjusting, or if you wanted to sort of change to a heavier float or heavier quill, just pull that out, put a bigger version in, and away you go. Add a bit more shot on, and used to fish like that all the time when I was a nipper, and that's what I'm using today, and it's working okay. So this shows you some of the old ways of fishing still work just as well. Good old quills. Well, years ago when I was a nipper and I first started fishing, I used to use split cane rods, and I haven't used a split cane rod for years, but some people do, even now. And well, there we go. It's my first fish of the day. Well, this is bringing back memories. This is the first fish I've actually caught on Reculver Dykes for about 35-40 years, and it's a nice plump old roach, and well, a special moment for me. Not a big roach, but it's not the size that matters today. It's just seeing that float go under and catching a few of these. As I was saying, I used to fish with split cane rods, and they were quite heavy, and they used to be quite bouncy, and they used to loop all over the place. But although I'm using a quill that I used to do, and it's already caught me a fish earlier, one of my old favourite quills there, I'm using a 13-foot MIDI X-Flex 4G rod today, which it's got nice soft action, and because there's quite a lot of small fish in here, this should do the job just nicely for me today. It really is just like going back in time. Nothing has changed here for all the years that I used to come here. Unbelievable. It's just almost like I'm a young lad all over again. Fantastic. So peaceful, so quiet. We used to have some absolutely fantastic times here. Lots of fish topping up the channel there. It always was quite a good peg, this one. Remember catching lots of eels as well here. I don't know whether we'll get any eels today because it's sort of September onwards now, so they might have already been through here and gone. So, but you never know. Anything's possible. I've been just sort of loose feeding a few maggots. That's all I used to fish was maggots. I brought a few worms down with me just in case I wanted to try a worm a little bit, you know, a bit later on. It's just maggots, just plain red maggots. Flicking a few out, keep the swim topped up, and hopefully catch a few more fish, just like the good old days. Straight away that went. I think sometimes you get a bite almost straight away, and it's a little bit bigger than the last one. A lot bigger than the last one. This weed is getting thicker and thicker now, so it's getting a real job to get the float. You're lining me bait through it all now without it laying on the top. This used to happen years ago, so nothing ever changes, not on the Dykes at Reculver. Well, what can I say? It's been an absolute brilliant session, and you know, I've just really enjoyed myself. Come back to memory lane and been using my quill floats. Fish are still topping as I'm talking. Along this dike system, it's absolutely teeming with fish, and this actually connects up to the River Once and further down. There's a series of little dikes and networks, and that it contains a lot of fish in there. Can fish hard sometimes, but it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed it, and don't forget, coming out in Total Course Fishing soon will be part 1 of the Boy to Man series at Reculver Dykes. Well, it's coming up to midday now. I've had a bucket full of roach. It's been a really good session. It's great to come back down to the dikes at Reculver, and like I used to do when I was a young lad, round about this time, I used to go back to the caravan. Mum used to make a load of sandwiches up for me and my sister and my dad, and then we'd go straight off down to the beach and spend the rest of the day there. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pack all this up, get my sandwiches out, get my cold drink, and like I used to do, I'm going to go and sit on the stones for a while and reminisce a bit.